Welcome to Glasgow Go-Getters YouTube channel. My name is Kit. Today's topic is going to be about how to handle and deal with your emotions when you are doing something for the very first time. When was the last time you did something for the very first time? Can you remember? Can you remember how you felt because it was the first time and you felt the dread, the anxiety, the fright? You were scared. You wanted to cower into a tiny corner and say, I can't do this. That was how I felt this Tuesday evening. I'd entered into 2 speaking contests on Tuesday in my Toastmasters club. The first one was called an evaluation contest, where there is a speaker called the test speaker who delivers a 5 to 7 minute speech. Then the competitors will take notes whilst the test speaker is delivering the speech. After that, they are given 5 minutes to write up their notes for delivering their 3-minute evaluation speech. It was my first time. I'd never ever did this before. It was daunting. I was scared stiff as I was writing up my notes in the 5 minutes period that I had. I felt my hand shaking. My heartbeat was fast and I felt absolute dread. So I did what I knew best. And that helped to steady my hand for a while. Then it came back again, those bag of nerves, and I felt my hand shaking and shaking and shaking some more. And I did this again. Deep breathing through my nose and exhale through my mouth. That helps to calm my anxiety. It helps to bring me back into the present moment, because I was projecting myself into the future. I was projecting myself into delivering the 3-minute speech when I was writing up my notes. I was nowhere near the delivering the speech yet. I was writing up the notes. So the best thing to do was to take deep breaths, breathe in through my nose, exhale through my mouth. In doing so, what you're doing is, when you're breathing in, taking a deep breath in using your nose, breathing through your nose, you're filling your lungs with oxygen. And when you're breathing out through your mouth, you are breathing out negative emotions, so that the anxiety, the fright and the dread dissipates and leaves your body. I acknowledged that I was feeling the dread, anxiety and the fright, as if I was being attacked. You know, the flight and flight mode was about to be engaged. So I immediately noticed how I was feeling. Did my deep breathing exercises to ground myself, center myself and bring myself back to the present moment. I do this a lot when I've caught on how I am feeling, when I'm in touch with my feelings. Sometimes I'm not, because of the external and internal distractions. However, on this evening I was calm, so I recognised my anxiety, my dread and the fright that I had been feeling, and my right hand was shaking like a nervous wreck. I'm delighted to report that I placed second in this particular contest. In the second half, it was what is called international speech contest. I did this a few times in person before COVID came along. And I did that on Tuesday evening. I delivered it on Zoom. So I was speaking to a camera. I was looking at my audience through a camera. And I had a limited speaking space like what I have now. I've been practicing speaking to camera since COVID and our first lockdown last March. So I was comfortable dealing with speaking to camera. However, I wasn't comfortable with not having the immediate reactions from my audience. So I had to learn to go with the flow and adjust accordingly. What helped me most to deliver this speech was the practice that I've been getting. Each month I will deliver one speech between 5 and 7 minutes in front of an audience through a screen like what I'm doing right now. I'm talking to you through a screen. I'm comfortable with that. So it's helped me to deliver this international speech. I'm also delighted to report that I placed second in this contest. So I am absolutely delighted with my progress because it was a first time. I'd never ever placed second, placed third. And when I heard my name called up as the first runner-up in second place, I was delighted, I was elated, I was hyper. Yes, I've made progress, I've finally got there, I've achieved this goal now. I was ecstatic and I celebrated with my hubby. So that goes to show that when we are able to handle and deal with our raw emotions as they come up, we can achieve our goals. Now, some people can't achieve their goals or don't achieve the goals is because they don't know handle their raw emotions as they come up. They don't have the emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a skill that you can develop. Nobody was born with it. We weren't gifted it. It's not a natural thing to have. It's something that needs to be developed over an extended period of time. That I wasn't taught emotional intelligence by my parents or by my schools. I have developed this in my own personal development through the last 10 years. So I highly recommend that you develop your EQ, emotional intelligence, to help you achieve your goals. Now, why is this important? Let me explain to you. I'm presuming that when you set yourself a goal, it means that you're going to be doing something that you've never did before and getting to somewhere that you've never been before. That's why you set a goal. A goal is something that you've never had or done or you've never been to before. That's why it's called a goal. So therefore, there are going to be times when you're going to be throwing yourself into the unknown. You're going to have to deal with the uncertainties. With the unknown uncertainties, there's going to be fear. And it is the fear that paralyzes the majority of people. Like myself on Tuesday night, I could have easily said, oh, bugger this, I can't do this, this is too much, I can't handle this, blah, 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 or it doesn't work. I could have made up all excuses under the sun. However, I had the tools and the knowledge to handle my raw emotions, my anxiety, my dread, and the fright that I felt. And I did it anyway. I felt the fear. And I did it anyway because I've built my emotional intelligence skills, the foundations there, so that I could recognize my raw emotions when they were coming through. I did a simple deep breathing exercise to bring myself back to the present moment, center myself so that I was calm and deliver the speech. And to come second for the first time, for my first attempt, is an exceptional progress. It's an exceptional result. I was not expecting it because I was a nervous wreck when I was delivering this 3-minute speech. I felt my entire body shaking. I couldn't have delivered it without looking at my bullet points that I'd jotted down. However, I presume I did good enough for the judge to play me second. And that was the biggest bonus of it all. to have put myself in, jumped into the deep end and be placed second when it was my first experience. That shows a lot about why it's important to develop your emotional intelligence when you are doing something new, because when you're doing something new, when you're doing something for the very first time, it's daunting, it's scary, because you're throwing yourself into the unknown. Therefore, there's going to be uncertainties. With uncertainties, there's going to be some irrational fears. Even though you're not in immediate danger, your head, your mind will tell you, oh, we're in immediate danger, we need to run, shoot, go, run. So that's why sometimes when you may have felt the need to run when you are in an uncertain situation, you haven't acknowledged how you feel. And when you do acknowledge it, you use a deep breathing exercise. It's simple. It can be done on the spot. No, it only takes 30 seconds to a minute to bring yourself back to the present moment. When you are in fear mode, it means that you have projected yourself into the future. There's no fear with the past, because the past doesn't bring any unknowns or uncertainties. It is when you project yourself into the future, that's where the unknown, uncertainties and fear is. So when you put yourself back, bring yourself back to the present moment, there is no fear, because you know what's happening. You're in the present moment. You see everything. You feel it. You feel safe. You feel secure. It is when you project yourself into the future, you're in the fear mode. So to bring yourself back into the present moment and out of fear mode, you got to calm those fears and tell them to F off in a polite way. And that's what I did on Tuesday, and I bagged second place. So I hope you got something from this video. If you have any experiences related to this topic, please leave a comment in the comment section, subscribe and share. Until next time, do stay safe and enjoy your weekend. It's bye from Glasgow Go Getter and Kit.